I'm totally not recording this on the same day as my other video, so no need to comment. As you may or may not know, it was my resolution this year to read 50 books. I'm still on track to hit that goal, and the last video I made covered some of my favorite books I've read so far and the ones I'd recommend. I only teased what the best book was. I didn't say exactly what it was, but as you may have guessed from the title and thumbnail of this video, it was Curious George Takes a Job. I'm kidding. I don't. I don't read kids' books. No, it was The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. Released earlier this year, this book serves as a guide to harnessing and unleashing your inner creativity. And I'll say at the outset that this book isn't only for artists, I should say. Rubin makes it clear early on that everyone is a creator. In fact, I think that's the exact title of the first chapter. If you didn't know who Rick Rubin was, looking at a picture of him, you'd think he's some kind of spiritual guru. And in a way, he is. For the uninitiated, Rubin is a music producer, though he's not just a beat maker. Far from it. Having a career that spanned nearly 40 decades, Rubin has helped produce in every major genre. From helping to popularize hip-hop in the late 80s with acts like the Beastie Boys and Run DMC, to starting the label Def Jam, to even revitalizing Johnny Cash's career, Rubin has seen and done it all. And knowing that, you would think this book would be a tell-all and pull back the curtain on some of today's biggest hitmakers. But it isn't. There's not a single name drop in the entire book of artists that Rubin has worked with. It's simply a timeless meditation on being a creative person. Rubin even said himself in an interview that his goal was to be as vague as possible to convey the information, not to sensationalize past glories. If he were to name drop, it'd only detract from his message. And you, the reader, wouldn't remember much of anything that resonated in what he was trying to do, because you'd only care about what Jay-Z said in the studio one late night, or how Pharrell came up with a particular beat. Those are the only two examples I could think of and make up on the spot, sorry. So today I wanted to go over some of the biggest lessons I learned from The Creative Act, a way of being. I feel like going over Rubin's background was important to show that he's not just some dumb hick. He's an artist himself, truly, completely, much like you or me. He actually knows what he's talking about. The first lesson is, as I hinted towards before, that just because you're not an artist doesn't mean you can't live like one. Rubin says on page 1, creativity is not a rare ability. It is not difficult to access. Creativity is a fundamental aspect of being human. It's our birthright. And it's for all of us, meaning that all of us humans have the potential to create something that's beyond ourselves, something to leave behind for others to remember us by, a legacy, whether that's a painting, or a story, or a recipe, or a business. As humans, we are wired to consume, but our true purpose is to create. And our creations don't have to always be noticed in order to be valued. Something that's viewed 100 times on YouTube can still have the same emotional impact as something viewed 1,000,000 times. Seeking validation or acceptance with our art only harms the creative process. In fact, it can kill it. If you only think about what the audience may want, you'll never make what you want. Going off of that, one of the biggest ideas in the book, if not the biggest, is that you should always be in service to the art that you're creating. Every moment, every little minute detail in your life is important for your art, your story, and your creative journey. As Nora Ephron once said, everything is copy. Rubin highlights the significance in being aware to everything that goes on around you. The mechanic whir of an elevator rising just might be the spark for you finishing your song. But if you drown out the noise, you don't get that idea. You lose it. So you have to be curious. You have to always be listening. As an artist, you're a conduit for creativity, a transmitter that has to remain open to new ideas and possibilities. It's absolutely crucial that you ask questions. whether they're external or internal. That's how you learn and find true creative freedom. Rubin says an artist must be okay living in a constant questioning with everything you see, everything you hear, everything you do. This mentality is often referred to as beginner's mind, an active being wherein you're open and eager to learn. When you have beginner's mind, you abandon all preconceptions regarding a topic that you're studying, even at an advanced level. It takes skill and patience, but in time you can rewire your brain and create with no limitations. But, and this is another lesson in the book, true creativity comes easy, or at least it should. Essentially, the ones that get it, and the ones that don't. You can't, in fact you shouldn't, force creativity. That's not how it works. That's how work works. Don't fight creativity. If there are signs something isn't working, drop it and move on. But don't do that too often. Another lesson Rubin highlights is to always finish the work, no matter how rough it may be. That's the whole point of a rough draft. In one of the only instances of a name drop, although it wasn't someone he worked with, Rubin references John Lennon's method for songwriting and always finishing a song in order to hold on to the energy of creativity as long as possible. But back to forcing creativity. It should be play. You should have a sense of childlike wonder when approaching a new project. If you do get stuck, it's okay. Take a step back and examine what you've finished. If something isn't working like you think it should, try something else. Bring in someone else and ask for their opinion or advice, but it has to be someone that you trust creatively. If that's not possible or it doesn't work, try lowering the stakes. The whole point of creativity is to have fun. Every artist wants to create the next groundbreaking thing, but they've forgotten what the creative act is. It's a way of being, unlocking something within yourself to get closer to the harmony of the universe. Was that corny? It felt corny, like really corny. I'm sorry, this was a bad idea, I think. Anyways, thank you for watching. This was something a little different for my channel and something that I hope to do in the near future again. I think this book is a must read for any creative person, and if you have any other book recommendations along the lines of this book, and I'll be sure to read them. If you don't know by now, creativity is something that I really like to explore on this channel. So yeah, this book hit me at the right time, I think. Okay, see you in the next one.